In this video, we're going to talk about how articles and videos can be used to drive a flood of targeted traffic to your squeeze page. You can actually use these two methods together along with the repurposing of content for true viral traffic and massive exposure for your squeeze page so you can continue to build your list with targeted people and subscribers. So articles and video marketings are two of the best methods you can do on your own to build up your email list and increase your overall traffic. And I say on your own because the beauty of article and video marketing is this is one of those things you have full and complete control over. Whether you do the work yourself or you hire an outsourcer and spend the time to hire somebody, it's in your control. You're not out there beating the streets looking for somebody to do an ad swap with or a solo ad with. And those methods are tremendous. Same thing with joint ventures. All those things are great for getting traffic, but this is one of those methods that you can actually control. And every list building strategy we share with you is something that you need to use for yourself. So basically articles and videos are out there because they place your content and potentially your squeeze page on major high traffic, high authority places. And what you're doing is simply providing information that people are seeking in your niche market and getting good content in front of them that redirects them into your marketing funnel, which starts with the squeeze page. So you're basically just starting by creating good, unique, and solid content. And the key thing here is if you focus on providing quality content, then you will already have a big advantage over your competition that might be using articles and videos. If done right, you can easily turn every article you create into an informative and traffic driving video. And we'll also talk about some additional ways you can make your articles go even further for you. So it all starts with keyword research and content. That's where any content creation campaign begins with. And notice I'm not really saying article and video marketing campaign. I'm going to call this a content creation campaign because content is so important and so vital even nowadays with the latest search engine changes. It's all about good, solid, unique quality content. That's actually something that's been around since Google started even ranking websites, so it's something that's not going to change anytime soon. So for these methods to work, you need to do some keyword research and market research to determine what content your potential subscribers will want you to create for them. So you want to do some research so you know what topics to write about, what topics to create videos around so that you are actually getting them, the exposure and the information your market desires so you can maximize your return on your time investment. When you can match your content to what they're searching for, you'll get the right kind of traffic you want to your squeeze page. You'll get the kind of people onto your list that will end up resulting in dollars in your pocket. The tool to start with, it's an absolutely free tool right now. It's called the Google AdWords Keyword Tool External, and you can run a search in Google for this tool to find it. You should have no problem coming across it. It'll be typically the first one or two results in Google when you look for it. This free tool basically will identify what keywords your target market is interested in and will help you settle on keywords and phrases that bring in the right type of people to your content. And ultimately that content again is what's going to redirect people back to your squeeze page. So again, here's a little screenshot of a Google search. So to look for the AdWords keyword tool, you'll go to AdWords keyword tool external into Google and you'll come across the AdWords keyword tool here. Should be the first result, and that's what the link will look like. So here's basically kind of how this tool works. If, for example, you were in the dog training niche market and you typed in, let's say, dog behavior training or obedience training or something like that, dog training, you would come across with a listing of possible keywords that people are looking for. And the key thing here is to not sit here and be overly scientific and sit here and analyze and say, well, is this keyword going to get me, the best chance to rank for it, that kind of stuff. The important thing that you want to focus in on is this a topic that my market wants to know about. That's super important because when you submit your content and when you create good, solid, unique content, the amount of competition typically doesn't become as big of an issue, especially when you're considering articles for traffic and social media and all these things we're going to talk about here within this training and videos, all those things. These are high traffic websites, high authority sites. So if you get out in front of your target audience, the things they want to know about, you should have no problem zeroing in and getting the traffic that they desire. So don't stress so much about the perfect, the perfect balance of, is this going to get me a ranking? A lot of people get stuck on that, so they never end up creating content, or they get stuck on it, and so they spend all this time looking for the perfect keyword to create content around. And what happens is, is basically they identify a keyword that maybe gets 300 searches a month. Whereas if they had just gone with the phrase that got 33,000 searches, yes, there's a little bit more competition, but there is literally 1,000 times almost there, or at least 100 times more people looking for it. So let's say even you get, 50, only 50% of those 33,000 end up coming across you're still way better off than when you just targeted that smaller keyword phrase. So the point is, don't be scientific about this. Use this tool to identify what kind of topics your market wants to know about, and then work on creating content around those keywords. Like, for example, when I was doing a search here for dog training, you'll notice like German Shepherd training. That's pretty interesting. Dog training schools, house training a puppy, potty training a puppy. And I kind of sense a pattern here, because on the previous slide there was actually something about puppy training as well. How to train a puppy, that was another one that was out there. So you could say, hey, maybe I should do some training on potty training a puppy, and then I could do another article on obedience training for dogs. I could do another one on dog agility training, and then German Shepherd training. That one seems to be a fairly hot topic. So you could do an article all about German Shepherd training. So the key thing here is, don't overcomplicate and overanalyze things here, just as I said. Select some keywords to create content around and start doing something with them. That's the most important thing with any kind of campaign online. Most people never make it online because they get frozen here at the getting started process. Any good content on your niche that you can syndicate online and generate traffic to your squeeze page or offer is better than having no content at all, because you're sitting there trying to find the perfect keywords that you desire. So that's a big mistake people make, is they get sucked into finding the perfect keywords, the perfect niche market. They just get sucked into this stuff because, they thought that's what they were told, when in fact they would have been much better off sitting there and actually going after, really just getting content created and getting stuff out there. So the key thing is just do something. The main thing again is to take action on the research you did and start producing your content. So here's a little bit about creating your content. Once you've settled on your keywords, you will want to sit down and start creating your articles around around those keywords. So you might want to try starting with 10 keywords to create 10 articles around those. So identify 10 keywords that you think you could write about, or 10 keywords that identify the niche market you're trying to pursue, and either write those yourself or pay somebody else to write them for you. Just remember that within the title of your articles, you should include, or almost must include, the keywords, because that's going to give you the best chance possible to get traffic from the article sites, to get traffic for your blog, to get traffic from the social sites, traffic from the press release, and traffic from the video. And these are all ways we're going to actually show you how to take one article and basically turn it into a viral traffic source for you. So again, the title of your article must include the keywords. Include the main keywords in the article only where they make sense. Be careful about stuffing keywords into the articles. So don't get caught up in perfect keyword density. Just like we were saying, don't get caught up with perfect keyword research. I hope you're sensing the pattern here, is people tend to overcomplicate this internet marketing game, and they get so stuck on having the perfect keyword density within their articles that they lose out on the important thing, which is having good, solid content, because ultimately that's what your subscribers want. Or people coming to your, to read your content. They're not there caring about the phrase German Shepherd dog training was mentioned 10 times in an article. If it was mentioned twice in that article, that's just as well. So the important thing is include it where it makes sense. Typically, that's the opening paragraph. It might be the closing paragraph, and if it happens to fit in somewhere else in the article, use it. If it doesn't flow, don't use it. The important thing is good content. In fact, search engines will reward you for that, and that's become more and more evident even with the latest Google updates. You want to try to get 400 words out of each of the articles that you create. So you're looking at 10 articles based around 10 keywords of about 400 words each. And again, spend some time doing a little research to ensure you have a high quality piece of content. And you can actually use article directories for some of your research to get some ideas as to things people are looking for. You can type in the keywords people want to know about, come up with content there, look at article directories, look at videos other people have produced, and come up with content. And again, if you're not one of those that wants to sit there and create content, but you're more of a person that wants to, you know what you need to do now because you're going through this training. So you just want to outsource this and say, hey, I want to hire somebody to write the articles for me. I want to hire somebody to create 50 articles for me or 10 articles. So you can go out to elance.com and tell them exactly what you're looking for. Say, hey, here's the 10 keywords I have. I need 10 articles written around these subjects, and I want to get 400 words for each of these articles. So you go out to Elance, freelancer.com, odesk.com, and you can go out there to those sites and do some research. So repurposing your content. You can get much more out of each of your articles by repurposing the same content you created. So whether you created the articles yourself or you hired somebody to create them for you, you can get much more out of each of your articles by repurposing that same content you created. You want to rewrite each article 2 times for a total of 3 versions of each article. So that's one thing you'll want to make sure you do. You don't have to do this part, but as I'll discuss, it's going to be give you a big advantage and actually help you tremendously if you consider doing it this way. But rewrite each article 2 times. So you'll have a total of 3 versions. So you have the original version and then 2 rewrites. And to do a rewrite, it's oftentimes as simple as changing the opening and closing paragraphs of that original article. So you just change it around so it's different. It's maybe got a different opening, a different couple of sentences at the opening, and then change the title, include the keyword still, but have a different title for that. So German Shepherd training must-haves, or most important things to know about German Shepherd training. And then the next article could be German Shepherd training, colon, how to be a better dog owner or something. Potty training your puppy, 5 tips, or train your puppy better with these potty training tips or something like that. So come up with a way to include your keyword and make the title different, and then maybe change the sentence structure in the middle. Maybe change some words around, but you don't have to go do a full-blown complete rewrite, but you want to make it look unique. You want to have a unique title, an opening and closing paragraphs that's different, and then in the middle of it you can just tweak some of the sentences just to kind of make it unique. And when you do this, one article will be used for your blog. More than likely you'd want to use that original article because that's going to be probably your best content, your best work right off the bat. And the reason you want to do that is because the search engines have put such a huge importance on having unique and solid content. And so you always want to produce that unique content for yourself first. And the reason you want to do that is because if it ever happened where maybe the niche didn't pan out that you were into, or you decided not to be interested in it, or you decided down the road to sell off your blog or website, including your list and your whole little business you built in your niche, you're going to get much better offer from somebody that wants to buy it if you have unique content. So that's a big plus as well. A big plus because you're going to get better search engine benefit. That's what the big Google Farmer update was all about, that everybody talks about and gets worried about, is it wasn't so much major SEO changes. It was a big change, but the key thing they're zeroing in on is good content. So just create good, solid content and use that for yourself first. The next article that you rewrite, you would want to go out there and submit to all the article directories. There's lots of article sites. You could outsource somebody to create them. We'll discuss that as well coming up here. But you want to submit it to article directories with links to your squeeze page. You'll also want to go out and do one article that you can use on social media sites. And you don't have to do that spot. You could actually submit the same articles that you do to the article directories, but there is a social media site called Hub Pages that can get you a lot of traffic, but they want unique content as well. So to get the optimal results, those 10 articles you create, for example, originally would be turned into 30 articles. So you'd have 30 articles targeting the 10 different keywords. What you want to do as well on top of that is actually take the article and convert each article into a press release. And here's actually 3 websites you can jot down. If you want to know how to write a press release, the best thing you can do is model what's already out there. And so go out to a site called prweb.com, 1-888-pressrelease.com, free-press release.com, and go out to those websites and look at those sites and look at how they've structured the press releases, and you could see how you can convert your article into a newsworthy topic without having to do too much to it. Basically you can add a paragraph at the beginning, maybe add a quote or two from yourself since it's your website, but you can go at it from that approach. And then finally, you would want to convert each article into a video. So technically, of those 10 articles or 10 article pieces we started with, targeting those 10 keywords, you could actually have 50 pieces of content from those 10 things. You could have a video for each one, a press release for each one, and then 3 versions of each article to use for the different methods I mentioned above. And if you do this with all your content, you're going to have no problem getting traffic, because your competition won't be doing this. It's going to be too much work for them. They're not going to want to do it, and that's why I recommend maybe considering some outsourcing as well. But again, this is something you could easily do on your own. It is going to take time, but it is something that can benefit you. Again, blogging with your content, I'm going to go over each one of these processes in a little more detail so you understand it a little bit better. But the unique articles play a big role in getting your blog targeted search engine traffic. As mentioned before, it works with all the new search engine changes. People want unique articles. So start with that first article you write. Put it out there for yourself, put it on your blog first, and then do the rewrite on the other sites. If nothing else, at least create one unique article for each keyword and submit that to your blog. Maybe you don't want to do article directories or social media submissions. Maybe you just want to do a unique article and then turn that article into a video, and that's fine too. But if nothing else, at least create content for your blog, because your blog can be a tremendous list builder for you. You can use sidebars with your free offer on them. You could use pop-ups to list build from your blog. And then another thing you can do that gets overlooked that a lot of people don't use is at the end of each blog post, provide a link to your squeeze page. That's a huge thing that you can actually do for yourself. So is at the end of each blog post, provide a link to your squeeze page. That's probably one of the best things you can do for yourself, just to just to like redirect everybody. So you have all these unique articles. Let's say you eventually, after a month or two, you have 50 unique articles on your blog, and you're getting traffic for all these different keywords, and people are coming to your site and they're reading the content. And at the end of each post, you have a call to action that sends people straight on over to your squeeze page, with the link to get your free offer. So you've got your offer on the sidebar. Maybe you've got a pop under that comes in after they've been on your site for a little bit, and then you could actually at least do the link. If nothing else, you can have your content on the sidebar and do the squeeze page. You don't need to worry about the sidebar part or the pop under thing. But if nothing else, if you do nothing else on your blog, at least provide a link at the end of each blog post. It's going to be as simple as using the same link, and say, for a free report on losing weight faster, for a free report on training your dog more efficiently, click this link, that kind of stuff. Now, when you're doing the blogging, you want to use the all-in-one SEO plugin to include your main keywords in the title tag of your blog post to make them search engine friendly. And when you download the all-in-one SEO plugin, it's a free plugin. Whenever you post your content, if you scroll down on the page you're posting it, you'll see all-in-one SEO once it's activated, and it will say the title or title tag, and that's where you would put in the keyword. And those keywords will come from, will be the title of that article. That would be, your keyword should be in the title already. So it would just be that first article, unique, that first article's unique title. Work on getting backlinks to your blog to help it continue to rank higher, but the unique content will play a big role in where it ranks in the search engine. So if you combine backlinks along with getting unique content, you'll be in excellent shape to start list building from your blogging efforts. The next thing is using the articles to submit it to article directories. This is one of the older ways of getting traffic that's still effective, even with the latest updates. It's still something for you to be looking at. Maybe not so much, just to get the direct backlinks, but to get the added and additional exposure for yourself out there and get people to your squeeze page. You want to rewrite again the version that is on your blog and use this to submit to popular article directories online. And the reason you want to make this unique is, for one, when you're submitting to article directories, you're making them money basically because you're producing content for them. That's how they make money, and that's why they allow you to put a link to your site. It's kind of a win-win situation. You give them content, which helps them make money, and in return they send you targeted website traffic and visitors, which gives you money. So both of you are helping each other out. So but the thing is instead of giving them your most original first unique article, give that to yourself, put that on your blog, and then rewrite a version and put it on your blog. What you want to do is include your squeeze page link in your resource box. So in all the articles you write and submit, include your squeeze page link in your resource box. And then you want to use a keyword-rich title, again, to pick up search engine traffic and benefits from your efforts. And have a different title than what's on your blog. That'll be a big factor in making your article look more unique. And Google search, article directories or submit articles to find the top article directories online to submit to. And it's so important that when you do submit your articles, when they do allow you to have a resource box, include a link to your squeeze page or possibly a link to your blog or both. That way your blog gets backlinks, and that way your squeeze page also can get exposure as well. So if you look at it as if you take each article, let's say each one of these 10 articles, and you submit it to 10 article directories for each one of these, which is easy to do because there's lots of article sites. But let's say you just submit to 10 article sites. That means that's 100 places online that your content can come up for, 100 additional places on high traffic sites, and all these would have links going to your squeeze page. You can see how that can become valuable for you. So the first step here is go to ezinearticles.com. Ezine Articles, and that's another reason you're going to want to make sure your content's good. You want to make sure you've rewritten it and so it still comes out solid, because Ezine Articles, they've really ramped up their requirements for articles, and that's why we recommend the 400 word ballpark as well, because a longer article is sometimes going to look a little bit better to them. ezinearticles.com. Articlesbase.com is another big one. Buzzle.com, ezinemark.com, goarticles.com, and then articledashboard.com. Those are all popular sites, and I'll go back here so you can see that list again. But these 6 websites here: ezinearticles.com, articlesbase.com, buzzle.com, ezinemark.com, goarticles.com, and articledashboard.com. These are all great article directories that you can submit to, and you can easily find more by Googling the phrase article directories or submit articles. And all these sites will let you submit your content and provide a backlink to your squeeze page or your blog. So the next thing you want to do is submit to social media sites. That's actually the next thing you're going to want to do. So Rewrite the version that is on your blog and use this to submit to popular social media sites online. So you want to take another version that you're not necessarily submitting to the article directories or to your own blog, but make a third version that you're submitting just to like social media content sites. And the reason you want to have another version is because, like I said, some social media sites want to have, again, unique content. That's important to them. So include a link to your blog or squeeze page, depending on your goals, which either option is going to be beneficial because you want to also be getting backlinks to your blog at the same time as you want to be sending traffic straight to your squeeze page. And so if you're doing a good job on your blog to list build, the backlinks are going to ultimately be good for you though for your blog, because then your blog will get more traffic overall, and it kind of is a win-win situation. So again, a link to your blog can help your blog get more backlinks and better search engine exposure, and that's more list building from your blog. So again, same story, use keywords in the title of the article that you are doing for more benefits. Here's one that you can go to. It is hubpages.com. Hubpages.com. They're the ones that they really want a unique article. They want unique content when submitted there. It's worth it to rewrite that content because they are powerful. They can get you a lot of traffic. They have a high Alexa rating. They're a great website to submit your stuff to. Squidoo.com is another great one for getting links and exposure. AssociatedContent.com. This is now part of Yahoo's content network, and you can get a lot of exposure through them. Suite101.com, it's another new one. BrightHub.com, similar to HubPages and Squidoo, but these are all types of sites that you can actually submit to. And you can also Google things like social media, submit content, social sites, that kind of thing. Submit content, and you should be able to come across sites that you could actually submit more content to. But again, the whole strategy here is you're creating content to get syndicated and submitted to multiple sites on the internet. And another site that I forgot to mention is Zomba, XOMBA.com. Now this part is where it might get kind of tricky. It's not necessarily tricky, but you're going to have to do something different. So you're not just taking an article, but basically you're converting your article into a newsworthy topic. So you can take your article and convert it into a press release format. So press releases are great because they get you additional traffic on a different style of site, they get you backlinks, and they get you exposure to your offer. You can again use a link to your blog to use a press release to build up your blog backlinks for even more traffic. And again, from your blog, that's where you'd be doing your list building from. And you can also get multiple links within press releases. So I would link to your squeeze page once for the free offer, and then I would link to your blog for people to get more content. That way you're building links to both. You're getting your squeeze page traffic, but you're also getting your blog traffic, which from your blog you're also list building from. And that's why that's the only time I really say you shouldn't send traffic straight to a squeeze page, is because you do want to get backlinks to your blog, especially if you're spending all this time creating unique content for your blog. You want to make sure that unique content gets found so you get rewarded with higher search engine rankings. So use your keywords in the title of your press release. That's very important. And you want to convert your article into a press release. So for examples on writing a press release and for places to submit the press release, you'll want to look at these websites online. One of them is 1888pressrelease.com. It's a free site you can actually submit your press release to, but you can also browse their content, browse all their press releases on their website, not all of them, but browse a few of them and get an idea as to the format of a press release. You know, what's the opening paragraph look like? Where are they using quotes in there? That way you could interject your own quotes related to your website. You know, and all these things. Where are they putting links to their content, and kind of just follow the pattern they're using. And these are a couple other free press release sites as well. And that last one is free-press-release.com. And then finally, you can do a Google search for submit press release free, and you should have no problem finding press release sites to submit to. In fact, there are hundreds of press release sites out there, and just, you know, start looking for them. At least use these three I recommend here, but do a Google search and you should come across quite a few other press release sites that you can submit your converted article to. So now we're up to, you know, your articles now become, your 10 articles have now become 10 different press releases that can drive you a flood of traffic to your content or to your website. So this part here, and there's a reason I have yoursqueezepagelink.com at the bottom, and I'll identify that in just a moment. But this is now the steps for converting your article to a video, at least so you understand the process of how to do this. But you can use PowerPoint or OpenOffice Impress, which is free, so it doesn't cost you anything, to make a bullet points from your article to content. Actually, very similar to what you're seeing on your screen right now. As you've watched this video, you've seen me with bulleted points addressing the content here. And basically, you're doing no different than what I'm doing right now. You're going to be basically taking bullet points from the article content from each sentence and making them bullet points, and you're going to put them into a PowerPoint slide. You can choose whichever template you want. You can use OpenOffice, the free version, and you would actually sit here and just talk a little bit about each bullet point. You could just read each bullet point and go into the next bullet point, and that's how you're converting this into a video. You would actually record the presentation with the screen capture software like Camtasia. It's the only problem with Camtasia, it can be kind of expensive when you're first starting out, but it is extremely powerful, has lots of really cool features for screen recording. But quite honestly, when you're doing these style of videos, you don't need all the major bells and whistles, and so I wanted to give you some other options. It's not, Camtasia is tremendous. If you can afford it, it's definitely worth your time to look into, but there are some lower cost options. Another one that comes for the Mac is called ScreenFlow. It's just for the Mac, but it's not priced too terrible. It's about $100, but it's not priced too terrible. You could also use Keynote, that comes with Mac as well, to actually create these bulleted point videos. But these are the last two options are very inexpensive, and they both have free options. Jing works with a Mac and a PC, that's why I recommend them. They have a free option. The only problem with the free option is it records your video in kind of a weird format, and so it can take you some time to have to reconvert the video and get it up to certain video sites, and not every video site will accept it. So I recommend the paid option, which is I believe $14.95 a year at this point. Price may be higher, but it's very inexpensive, and it actually allows you to record the video in a better format so you can actually submit it to more video sites, which is super important. And then another one that's completely free, it only works on the PC. It's called Cam Studio. It's an older software, it's been around quite a while, but it does a great job of doing screen recording videos, especially these shorter ones that we're doing when you're actually turning your article to videos. Most of these videos, when they're done, will end up being 2 to 3 minutes long. It doesn't matter if it's too short. Now, this is where I told you that I would talk about why I have yoursqueezepagelink.com at the bottom. This is to show you an example and to demonstrate how this little step works. But you would include a link to your squeeze page in the footer of each slide of your presentation so it shows throughout your video. So as you can see below, I have the link www.yoursqueezepagelink.com, and that is showing up in the footer of my PowerPoint here, and if you had OpenOffice Impress, you would put it in the footer there. And that way, as you're reading your video, as you're recording your video with your screen capture software, the whole time they're not only getting trained, but the whole time your link is sitting there, and it's going to get ingrained in their mind, and they may eventually go visit your squeeze page, which is ultimately the goal here that we're trying to go after. So use your keywords in the title of your video when you prepare to submit it. So I typically put a notepad file that I've talked about before. I'll put a notepad file with my video title in it, which would include my keywords and maybe a little bit about what I'm talking about. And then I will put in like the description. The short description, it could be 2 or 3 sentences, it could be 1 sentence. Just make sure you include your keyword in there at least once where it makes sense. And what you want to do is before the description, you want to put a link to your squeeze page. And I typically recommend you go http:// and then the www.yoursqueezepage link. The reason you want to do the HTTP is because some video hosting sites like YouTube, for example, will automatically make that a fresh hyperlink, so it's simple and easy for you to end up getting traffic with people just clicking on that link and going to check out your squeeze page and maybe download your free report. So include that link in your description. Next, you want to submit your video for traffic, because ultimately that's what we're doing here is, we're converting our articles into videos. So what you want to do is submit your video now to get traffic going to your squeeze page. So make sure to include your squeeze page link, the description as well, for the best results and traffic. So make sure to include your squeeze page link and the description for best results. And the description, the squeeze page link would again be right before the description, so it goes out there. So YouTube.com, that's the most popular site. Vimeo.com is another very popular one. Rever.com, Yahoo Video, and then you'll also want to go out to Google and just Google search submit video, and you'll come across more video sites. It's one of those deals where the more sites you get yourself exposed to, the more potential traffic you can look at for yourself, and the more overall visitors you could expect to get. At least, if nothing else, submit your video to YouTube, because that is a huge website. As you know, it gets a massive amount of traffic, but generate added exposure by submitting it elsewhere. And at least go to these 4 sites: Vimeo, Rever, Yahoo Video, but also do a Google search for submit video, and you'll find even more sites that you can submit to. So I just want to thank you again for joining on this particular training. Now you know how important and powerful these 2 methods are for building your list, including the repurposing. The next step is to take action and start generating content that you can repurpose to send to your squeeze page offer. Try to create 5 to 10 new articles per week to keep the content flowing. More content means more traffic and a bigger list. And remember, every time you create an article, you've got 5 different things you can do with it. You've got the 3 rewrites, you've got the press release, you've got the video. And so don't forget the power of repurposing your content into press releases and videos so you can get more from your efforts. And then I know this is a lot to take in. There's a lot of submissions that you have to do. There's a lot of conversions and creating content. So at least consider outsourcing some of these tasks using like odesk.com or Elance, and think of some websites you can use to end up really kind of basically help you take this step to the next level. So this is an important element to list building, is getting traffic, and content traffic like this is something that's been around for a long time, and it's not going to go away. So make sure you're using this for your list building efforts.